Greetings to everybody. How are you today? I hope you are all well, in good health, and keep practicing the Dhamma. If you have any questions, please let me know now. Also, please tell me where you come from if this is your first time. Kim Boon Chu Satu Satu Satu. Fat Choi Chong Satu Satu. Can you hear me all right? Is the sound okay? Jo Lin Tay, good morning, Ajahn. What are the 5 sensual pleasures? The 5 sensual pleasures are the pleasures from seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. These are the 5 sensual pleasures. The pleasure of contacting the 5 sensual objects, the images, the sounds, the taste, the smell, and the objects, touching objects. These are the 5 sensual pleasures. Is the mind considered one of the sensual pleasures? No, the mind is the mental object. It is another object of pleasures. When you think, your thoughts can be, but it's not called sensual pleasures because it's mental, it's in the mind. When you think good, you can think about good things, you can be happy, you can enjoy it. But when we talk about the 5 sensual pleasures, we're talking about the 5 sensual objects, namely the images, the sounds, the smell, the taste, and the tactile objects. From Chonburi MTR, Satu, Satu. Kwan Lee Man, dear Ajahn, with respect, how are you, Ajahn? I'm fine, thank you. Ajahn, can you please explain being and non-being, please? Satu. Well, being means to be something or somebody, like to be rich, to be famous, to be beautiful. This is being. Non-being is not to be, like not to be poor, not to be sick, not to die. It's non-being. The desire for this being and non-being can cause dukkha to arise in the mind. Ali Hassan, good afternoon, Ajahn. Hope Ajahn in good health. Thank you, I am fine. Eddie Khandra, Sukihotu, Pante, and everyone. Namaste from Indonesia. Kenneth Hunt, good morning, Ajahn. You are clear, thank you. Did you have your breakfast yet? It's about, almost 8 o'clock now for you in Switzerland. Joyce Ho, Ajahn, Suchart, good afternoon. Yep, sound is okay. Prim NY, sound and video super clear, Ka. Thank you. Ali Hassan, yes, sound okay, no vibrated. Jenny Tan Chung Fung, Satu, 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 Anumodanami. Quat Mien Lo, Satu. Ali Hassan, sound clear, no background. Ali Hassan, good day to all. Kalayanamita. Hope you all are doing well and healthy. Satu, Satu. Alfredo Vilela. Hi, Pante. I was champion of dance today. Congratulations. You're supposed to be champion of meditation. How come you end up doing dancing? Really lucky. Good day to you, Sanka Upasika, and you. Try to be champion of meditation, okay? Not champion of dance, Alfredo. Aseng, good day, Pra Ajahn. Ong Eng, Satu. Phoebe sang, good morning, dear venerable teacher. When doing tasks such as cooking and cleaning, is it better to try to focus on the breath or on the actions? On the action, because if you focus on the breath, you might not cooking properly, and your food might turn out to be undesirable. So you have to focus on your cooking and cleaning. Don't let your mind go somewhere else. If you can focus on cooking and cleaning and you still go somewhere else, then you can use the mantra to force it to come back to your action. Question from Petri Kivisto, Sweden. Question number 1. I have been practicing Vipassana for 5 years and 7 10-day silence retreats. It has helped me come out of my alcoholism. My struggle mainly has to do with the concept of no self. If there's no self, then what is it that is doing anything at all, if not ego? The mind is the one who doing all the action. But the mind is not a self, it's not an ego. The mind is the one who knows, the one who thinks. But it's not a self who knows or who thinks. It is a natural phenomena, mental phenomenon, that things like the wind that blows, the sun that shines, the wind that blows, the rain that falls. There are no self in the wind, there are no self in the sun, in the rain. So there is no self in the mind, that thing that knows. See, this is a new concept that we have to learn. We used to have the concept that the one who thinks and the one who knows is the self. It is not a self. It is a natural phenomenon, like the sun, the rain, and the wind. What that will become liberated if no self exists? It is the mind that will be liberated from dukkha. But there is no self liberated. A self is a delusion. It's a concept created by delusion. Adelaide Bethany, my respect and Ajahn. Grab. How are you, Adelaide? Haven't heard from you for a while. Are you still staying with Ajahn Bunmi? I hope your practicing is going well. Hope you're happy and healthy and safe from the virus. EOSC Suki Hotu Tan Ajahn, and thank you for Ajah's Dhamma. You're welcome. Kenneth Hunt, it's 7 a.m. now, no breakfast yet. Have been sitting quietly so far. Thank you, Tan Ajahn. Enjoy your breakfast. Adi Aha Satu. Alfredo Vilela. My life is meditation, Pante. That's right, not dancing, okay? Meditation, no dancing. Dancing is defilement. Aranud from San Jose. Good morning, Prajan. Greetings from San Jose, California. If I prefer sitting meditation to walking meditation, can I spend more time sitting? Definitely. You choose any position of your choice. If you find them more productive, make your mind calmer and happier, then you can choose that position. Or should I allocate 50 of my time sitting and 50% walking? Not necessarily. It depends on your need. If you need to sit more than walk, then you sit more than walk. If you need to walk more than sit, then you walk more than sit. There is no fixed formula for sitting and walking. You can choose how you sit, how long you sit, and how long you walk. Ali Hassan, meditation body lying down, feeling sucked. The pull from the right side, the pull is very strong, like iron is attracted by a magnet. Is this the wind element in the body? There is no need to know what it is. Just know that it is. Know that it is anicca, temporary, anatta, not under your control. If you want to control it, it can make you miserable. So just know it for what it is and leave it alone. No need to know what it is. It is what it is. It is what you. That's all you need to know. Know that it is anicca, anatta, and can cause you dukkha if you want to control it. Jagma Arya, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Jolin Te, thank you Ajahn for the Dhamma teaching. Greetings from Singapore. You're welcome. Kaslim Ajahn, good day to you. How can we classify ourselves as Buddhists? Singapore. Buddhists have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha and follow the teaching of the Buddha, namely charity, maintain the precepts, the 5 precepts, the 8 precepts, and practice meditation of samatha and vipassana meditation. It's 7 a.m. now, no breakfast yet. I've been sitting quietly, so do you have muesli for breakfast? Sami Riachi to Kenneth Hunt. Okay, I can read your message today, Sammy. I hope you are well. Linda Lee, Namaskaran, Ajahn. Thank you for your teaching. I have been listening for months now. Follow-up questions. On being greatly attracted to someone, focusing on the 32 parts of the body doesn't seem to help, as it is my internal being that I feel attracted to, and is still disturbing my living in the peaceful present as I think of him almost all the time. What else can I do? Well, you have to think of impermanent thing, that he or she will eventually have to pass away. And when he or she passes away, it can make you miserable. It can make you feel bad. So if you don't want to feel bad, you have to be detached from that person. Don't cling to that person. Tell yourself that life can come to an end anytime, any day, anywhere. Once you see impermanent or anicca of the body, then you can let go of your attachment to that body. From Michael Saw, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Bunsi C, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Chayanan Moon Rabbit, Sadhu, Sadhu. Rangsa, Namaskaran, Pra Ajahn. Pauling Soon, Sadhu, Sadhu, Ajahn. Question number 2 from Petri Kivisto, Sweden. Not being able to answer the question about no self makes life seem utterly meaningless. So a part of me wants to give up all spiritual practices, including meditation, and just do whatever is fun and enjoyable while it lasts. So what is the purpose for any spiritual practice? For us being here, for anything really, if any, you think. What's the point of meditation if it's the ego that is doing the meditation? It's not the ego that is doing the meditation, it's the mind. And you want to free the mind from coming here, because existence as we know it is temporary, and it can end any time, any day. And when that happens, it causes dukkha in the mind. So we want to build a different type of pleasures or happiness for the mind by meditation. Once the mind achieves success in meditation, like entering into jhana, the mind can be happy without having to be born, without having to come into this earth. You see, the mind is forever. It never dies. It's everlasting. But due to delusion, it takes the body to find happiness, uses the body to find happiness. But the body is temporary. So when the body dies, it causes dukkha or suffering in the mind. So the mind has to stop using or depending on the body for happiness. Instead, depend on the practice of meditation to keep it happy. Once it is calm and peaceful, it can be happy without having to use the body to bring happiness to it. So this is the purpose of our mission, is to build up a new type of happiness, the happiness from meditation. Once we have this meditation, happiness from this meditation, we don't need the happiness from the body. We don't need to use the body to bring happiness for us, because the happiness through the body is impermanent, not permanent, and not constant, not always there. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. And when the body dies, it's no longer there. So this is the purpose of doing meditation, to create a new type of happiness for the mind, so that the mind doesn't have to rely on the body to create happiness for it, and not have to have any suffering when the body dies. From Sammy Reashi, thank you, Ajahn, I am well. You're welcome. Abhijato Womin, dear Pante, I am so new into Buddhism. Please teach me how should I start and what should I do daily. Thank you, Pante. Well, if you're new to Buddhism, then you have to study Buddhism. And the place to go to study is in the website called Access to Insight. It contains a lot of Theravada Buddhist teaching, especially the forest tradition teaching. And it tells you what Buddhism is and what you should do in order to become a Buddhist. So you need to first to study what you have to do by go to the Access to Insight website and study. Once you have studied, then you'll know what you should do. But to summarize, if you want to know briefly, to be a Buddhist is to have complete faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as your teacher, and follow their instruction. They tell you to practice charity, to practice morality, and to practice meditation. These are the three things that you should do every day if you can. Give charity, spare a few dollars to the sick, the needy, to those who are helpless, and then stop hurting other beings by keeping the 5 precepts. Abstain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and taking intoxicants like alcohol. and then do meditation practice. By walking meditation or sitting meditation, focusing your mind on one object, such as your breath when you sit, or reciting a mantra Bhutto Bhutto when you walk. This is what Buddhists should be doing daily. From Chi Chin Chuan, can I achieve wisdom or jhana by just chanting? No, you cannot achieve both actually. Chanting just helps to prepare your mind to practice meditation. When you do some chant, after you did some chanting, your mind can be more concentrated, and then you can then meditate by focusing your mind on the breath. Then by this method, it then can bring you jhana. As far as wisdom, you have to wait after you come out of jhana and study the nature of things as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay. 21, 45. Fat Choi Chong, Satu, Satu, Satu. Sim Chun Leong. Good morning, Ajahn Suchart. Greeting from Singapore. May I ask for some recommendation? What kind of profession is supportive for Dhamma practice instead of hindrances? So Dhamma practice and meditation. The most ideal profession is to become a monk or becoming a nun if you are a woman. This is the profession that fully supports your practice of the Dhamma. So if you want to have a supportive profession, then become a monk or become a nun. Then you will have all the time to practice the Dhamma teaching. From Sami Riachi, the Buddha talked about obsession with youth, health, and I, ego. How do we get rid of obsession with health? When the fact is, if we are in bad health, we can't meditate. It has not obsession with health doesn't mean that you have to be obsession. You should look after your body and keep it healthy, but you should have the mind to know that healthiness is temporary. It's not permanent. It's not constant. It's not definite. It can get sick anytime. It doesn't mean that you're not looking after your body at all. You do look after your body, but not to the point of obsession. You look after it rationally. Look after it knowing that sooner or later it's gonna get sick. That's all. To prevent you from getting sad when your body becomes sick. If you know ahead of time that sooner or later your body will get sick, then when it gets sick, you won't be sad because you prepared your mind to accept this reality. That's the purpose. Not to obsession means to block your mind from knowing that the body will sooner or later get sick. This is obsession. You have to have rationality to know the truth of the body, and that is the body will get sick one day, sooner or later. It's beyond your control. So it has nothing to do with meditation, because you don't get sick all the time. Even when you're not obsession with your health. But obsession can cause you a lot of anxiety and worry unnecessarily. That's all. That's the purpose of getting rid of obsession, to get rid of the dukkha arising from obsession. But it doesn't mean you don't have to look after your body. You look after your body in a rational way. From Chi Chin Chuan, Is it really true Parita chanting can protect us from harm and danger from ghost spirit? No. The chanting of the Parita will protect the mind from fear of ghosts, from fear of spirit, insect, and so forth. But it cannot protect the body from these things. It only protects the mind from being fearful of these things. When you chant, your mind becomes calm. Then the fear of these things will disappear. Orapin, Satu, Satu. Gek Yen So, dear Tanajan, regards from Penang. How are you? Thank you for joining the talk, the discussion. Holding soon, what is the help of meditation when being going to die? If you know how to meditate when you die happy. You will not have any dukkha or suffering when you die. Abi Hassan, thank you Ajahn for the teaching. I will put in mind, no need to know what it is. Just knowing the phenomena, anatta and anicca. Thank you Ajahn. You're welcome. Being Satu Satu. Kenneth Hunt, access to insight.org. For those who want to study the teaching of the Buddha, go to this website. Selani Anushka, bye. Satu Satu. Ui Pu Hua, Satu. Paddy Lu, good afternoon, Luang Por. My question is this. I am 48 years old, single, and have been studying the Dhamma for more than 10 years now. If now I make a vow to attain Arahantship as my one and only life goal, should I focus all my time and effort on practicing meditation alone, or should I continue to other charitable works, such as visiting old folk home and terminally ill patients? No, if you want to focus on your attainment to Arahantship, then you have to suspend the charity work and concentrate on the sila and bhavana aspect, meditation and maintaining the precepts. Charity, you can suspend it for now. Wait until you become an arahant, then you can give Dhamma as the gift, as a charity gift later on, like the Buddhas and all the arahants did. They stopped giving to charity and then they went to live in seclusion, to meditate until they became arahant, became Buddha. Then after they have became arahant or Buddha, then they come out and give Dhamma as the charity object. Esther Yip, dear Ajahn, I find that the quality of my meditation depends on how smooth my workday is. For example, if my workday is pleasant, most likely my meditation will be smooth, vice versa. I wonder if this is due to my unconscious attachment towards my job. Most of my thoughts during meditation are also related to work. Helpless, Ajahn. Yes, when your work is smooth, your mind is not disturbed, so you find it easier to meditate. But when your work is not smooth, then your mind becomes disturbed, agitated, and restless. So you find it difficult to meditate. So it's better not to do any work if it's possible, or do as little work as you can, so that it will not disturb your mind when you meditate. From Adelaide, Bethany, thank you,ท่านอาจารย์. Still staying as resident at Wat Pa Ban Mai with Luang Pu Krat. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot. You moved to Luang Pu Krat, not Ajahn Bunmi. Conditions for practice here are good, and we hardly know here existence of coronavirus. Only internet connection not good. I am happy you're well. Thank you for updating. Happy to hear that everything is well with you. I hope your practice is going well also. From Pauline Soon, what level of meditation reaching that considered success and can receiving merit from meditation result? Jhana. When you reach jhana, then you have happiness. And happiness of mind is called merit. From Pramsa, dear Ajahn, can I need a tip to do meditation during get sick? Only pray short 1 or 2 mantra and sleep, or should I continue to bhavana Bhutto until get sleep? You can do whatever you want to do. Try it out. It's better to meditate as much as possible. That's the goal, is to meditate. But if your sickness prevents you from meditation, then you have to give up for a while and wait until you get better before you can meditate again. Remark, during sickness, I also think about anatta and death. That is good. It will keep your mind from being sad when anything happens to your body. From Alvin Chua, dear Ajahn, thank you for your Dhamma. I have a question. It's the same jhana and sunyata do both peace of mind? Anumodana Ajahn. I am Medita from Singapore. When you have jhana, you enter into emptiness. So sunyata is emptiness and peace of mind. So this is jhana. Sunyata can be called, jhana can be called sunyata, but it's a temporary sunyata. Nibbana is the permanent sunyata. From Chi Chin Chuan, if I dislike some monks' way of practices and disagree with their ideas, do I still continue to listen and follow advices? Sometimes the idea not aligned with Buddha's teaching. Then you should avoid them. You should follow those who teach according to the Buddha's teaching and practice according to the Buddha's teaching, because you don't want to be misled by them. From Alvin Lee, Wei Peng, reading from KL Tanajan. Thanks for your teaching. Sadhu, sadhu. Let me take a break. Take a drink. From Nabiti, Namaskar Ajahn, Medan, Indonesia. Thank you for your teaching to make my practice better. You're welcome. Someone from China, send a rose. Thank you. Chi Chin Chuan, what is feeling of jhana? Does it stick to me forever? Jhana is temporary. It can disappear from your mind after you finish meditating. So you have to do a lot of meditation. Keep meditating to keep jhana to stay with you. It's like the feeling you get from eating. When you eat, you become full, but after a while, you become empty. Your stomach will become empty and hungry again. So you have to eat again. Same way with jhana. Jhana makes your mind feel full, happy, but after a while, it will disappear. Then you have to do meditation again to get back into jhana, to get back this feeling of fulfillment. Sami Reachi, are there people who are hopeless in the Dhamma? No way for them to progress. Yes, there are 4 types of lotuses. The 4th type of lotuses is considered the type of people who are hopeless because they don't understand or they don't have the faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. From Sattalim, good afternoon, Ajahn. Thank you for sharing the Dhamma. You're welcome. From Dhammachakka Buddhist Community Center, Anumodana Ajahn. From Lim Anita, Sadhu Sadhu. From Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Very happy to be hearing your teaching today. You're welcome. Happy to hear from you also. From Pauline soon, can Ajahn explain jhana in meditation temporarily and nirvana jhana? Well, jhana is temporary, while nibbana is permanent. You can call nibbana a type of jhana, but it's a permanent jhana. The mind is completely calm, peaceful, and happy all the time with nibbana. While jhana, the mind is peaceful, happy temporarily. After it comes out of jhana, this peaceful and happiness will disappear, eventually, slowly. From Joyce Ui, Sadhu, Sadhu, from Malaysia. From Gek Yen So, dear Tanajan, I am fine. Appreciate Tanajan's teaching. I heard one Buddhist Dhamma talk that we can see different colors of light, including green, red, blue, white, yellow, and rainbows. Once we just pass away, what is Tanajan's opinion about this color? I don't know what you're talking about. Where and when do you see these colors? From Felicia Chan, Sadhu Sadhu. From Esther Yip, dear Ajahn, aware that the best is not to work or minimum work. However, the reality of life is we don't live for ourselves most of the time. Instead, we are living for others due to worldly obligation and responsibility. Well, look at the Buddha, for example. He had a family, and he could still go and practice as a monk. And then he can then come back after his enlightenment to help his family. So to concentrate on meditation until you reach attainment doesn't mean you're being selfish. It's like going to school. Once you finish, then you can come back and help other people, teach other people to become enlightened. From Sami Reachi, I still have thoughts about going to Pariyatti and studying for a while. Are these defilements that are taking me away from Pratipatti, or can Pariyatti help our practice? Well, actually, you can do both. Right now, you are doing Pariyatti. When you are listening to Dhamma talks, this is Pariyatti already. You don't have to give up Patipatti and only do Pariyatti. You actually can do both alternatively. Like right now, you do Pariyatti by listening to Dhamma talk, or have the Dhamma discussion, or reading Dhamma books. Then you can stop. Then you go practice. You don't have to do one or the other. You can do both alternatively. You don't have to give up one up to take up the other. You can do both. So yes, you can do Pariyatti, but you can also do Patipatti. You can all do practice. You can also study. You can do this alternatively. Like right now you study, when you finish then you go and meditate, then you practice Dhamma. Your mind or your defilement wants you to not do the practice, so it finds excuses. And when you do study the Dhamma, you will probably do it very little, and then you spend most of your time seeking for sensual pleasures. This is the excuse of your defilement. So be careful. From Aviani 10, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. When I meditate, I feel thirsty and take a drink, and I can't find the right signal connection to the comfortable head formation like before I drink. Sometimes can, but sometimes can't. What should I do again? Well, if you feel thirsty, you should drink all you want to drink before you meditate. So that when you meditate, then you can tell yourself that your body doesn't need any more drinks. If you feel thirsty, it's your defilement. You can just ignore that feeling of thirstiness and keep concentrating on your meditation practice. From Sattalim, dear Ajahn, in Buddha's previous life, he practiced generosity and gave up his wife and children. It ended up the children become slaves. Some said this is not wise, as he did. Some said this is not wise, as he did not consider their well-being. Should generosity comes with no harming of others' feeling? Yes, if you can. But sometimes when you become obsessed with something, you forget you're not becoming circumspect, that's all. Like in his previous life, he was so obsessed with giving, so he was willing to give up everything. This is the nature of a bodhisattva. When he does something, he does it totally, completely, without any hesitation. But sometimes it is wrong. But his goal is to give. So it doesn't matter what happens when he gives something and it can hurt somebody. Actually, it's not his business anyway, because he didn't do anything to hurt other people. It's other people who are being hurt by their own karma. Composing soon. At the time reaching jhana or samadhi, do we vision any bright light in our mind? Not necessarily. Sometimes there is, sometimes there is not. Doesn't matter. It's not the main product you want, it's the byproduct. The main product is emptiness of thoughts. The mind becomes empty and happy and have upekkha. From Irene Uy, good afternoon, Ajahn. I am Irene Uy from Penang. Thank you for the Dhamma discussion. Sadhu, sadhu. From Chi Chin Chuan. Will my karma vipaka affect where I am born? For example, if I live in Malaysia, I have done many things, good or bad. I will be reborn in Malaysia and repay my karma vipaka. Yeah, no, not necessarily. Because your next birth, there might not be Malaysia left on this earth. You might be reborn in a different planet. So the location of your birth doesn't matter. What matters is what you will get from your action. If you hurt somebody, you will get hurt by somebody later on. From Kimberly Donnelly Cole. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I am enjoying your Dhamma teachings. I need much practice. I have trouble detaching from my family to meditate for myself. as they have so many needs. Thank you for reminding me how important and not selfish this is, to meditate and be peace, as there is much turmoil in aging and poor health. I feel too much pain and suffering. You're welcome. Meditation is not being selfish. It means looking after your mind. Your mind is sick, so it needs to be looked after, like the body. When the body is sick, you have to look after your body. When your mind is restless, agitated, not happy, it means the mind is sick. So you need to meditate to cure it, to make it well. So this is not being selfish. From Kema Jenny, Namaskaran Longpo, you're welcome. From Henny, Chitra Sanjaya, good morning Thanajan, I am from Indonesia. I am Siddhartha and Billy's mother. I want to ask Thanajan, one, I just fell and sprained my leg. To endure the pain, I called Buddha and apologized to Buddha. I was afraid that I would die immediately. Is it okay to do that? If it makes your mind feel better, then it's okay. If it makes your mind feel peaceful and not miserable, then it's okay. Number two, I have a cough. I have been taking medicine and it hasn't healed yet. I drink water from the Buddha altar to recover. Is it okay to do that in that way? Thank you very much. Well, if the water can cure your sickness, then it's okay. But if it causes you more sickness, then you should not use it. You should not drink it. Look at the outcome of your action. If it's good, then okay. If it's not good, then it's not okay. From Ui Pohua, our attachment is holding us back, but slowly let go bit by bit. That's right, try to let go all of it, because sooner or later you will be forced to let go when that particular object have to separate from you permanently. Question from Posim, Malaysia. Is consciousness, vijnana, permanent? When the consciousness doesn't have any more attachment to matter, feeling, perception, and volition, does the consciousness still exist? Yes, the consciousness still exists. When we talk about vijnana being impermanent, we mean it keeps changing. It keeps being conscious of something, and then afterward that something disappears, and then it becomes conscious of something else. So it's like a blinking light, consciousness. But it is permanent. It's part of the mind, and the mind is permanent. The mind cannot be destroyed. Neither can vijnana. It goes with the mind, the four namakhandas, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. Even after enlightenment, the Buddha still have Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. The Arahants, the same. From Chi Chin Chuan. When I do chanting, do I chant in Pali or chant in the language I understand? You can choose whichever language you want to chant. If you chant in the language you can understand, you can also have knowledge or wisdom from chanting. If I'm not to chant in language I understand, what happens if the translation is wrong? If I am to chant in the language I understand, what happens if the translation is wrong? Then you can be misled. So you have to make sure that the translation is correct. So you have to go to an established source, like the Tripitaka. But then there's always a possibility of some mistranslation. or lost in translation, which is unavoidable. So you have to be slightly skeptical if you find it not right. But if you find it's okay, then you can believe in it. If you find something that you're not so sure, then you have to remain cautious and not to believe totally, because you can be misled. Pauling soon, mind concentration in meditation need energy, right? It needs mental energy. You have to have the effort to concentrate. If you don't have the energy to concentrate, then you will not succeed in your meditation. When your mind keep running away from your object of meditation, then your mind cannot become calm and peaceful and happy. I'm Anna Goldman. Good afternoon, Ajahn. How are you? I am from California. Sadhu, sadhu. I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for coming in. From Canada, dear Ajahn, if there are physical signs in the body of restlessness, such as racing heart or hot body, does this reflect an underlying restlessness of the mind? Not necessarily, because like when you do some physical work, your heart can beat faster. When you walk or when you run, for instance, when you run, your blood pressure can go up. But it's not a sign that your mind is restless. There is restlessness of mind, and there is also restlessness of body. Sometimes they are caused by the mind. When your mind is restless, you might cause the body to become restless also. Like when your mind is restless, agitated, your blood pressure might go up. But your blood pressure can also go up because you did some running or work, some physical activity, and not caused by your mental restlessness. Like the other day, when I went to take my vaccine, they first take my blood pressure, and they said it was slightly higher, so they have to wait. So I have to sit there and wait for a while, and then they take my blood pressure the second time. Then they say it's okay, it has dropped down to normal. Maybe by just walking a few steps can cause your blood pressure to come up. From Jinilin Poor. Sadhu, sadhu, anumodami. Good afternoon, Mahajaan. I am Jinilin Poor from Selangor, Malaysia. Thank you for coming in. From Simei. Dear Ajahn, in the Anapanasati Sutta, it states, ever mindful, he breathes in, mindful, he breathes out, breathing in long, he knows, breathing long. So forth. How many minutes do we stay at this stage before proceeding to train thus I shall breathe in experiencing the whole body, sadhu, and thank you. There is no amount of time limit as to how all you have to do is just keep focusing. That's all you need to do. Just focus on your breath and know the breath for what it is, and then it will automatically take you to all these other steps. You don't have to do it manually. It will done automatically by the mind. Just keep focusing on the breath at the tip of your nose. Okay, we have about 5 more minutes left. So if you haven't typed any question yet, please don't do it. You have to wait until the next meeting. because I'll be finishing in about 5 more minutes. I won't be able to answer all of your questions. But if you are in the process of typing your question now, please do continue and finish your question and send them in. From Avian 10, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn, does every meditator encounter the nimitta? No, not necessarily. Some do, some don't. I found a nimitta of an ear. All the curves of the ear are very clear. But I just see it a bit later, the nimitta disappear. Can I just see it? Does by seeing mean I enjoy it? Or should I get out of this nimitta immediately? You should ignore the nimitta and come back to your meditation object. If you use mantra, come back to your mantra. If you use the breath, come back to your breath. And ignore the nimitta that appears, because it can distract, it can cause you to lose your concentration and not able to reach jhana, which is what you want from your meditation. It's total concentration. So don't be distracted by the nimitta when they appear, just ignore them. I hear some people say if we can see nimitta, it means we're close to jhana. Not necessarily. If you pay attention to them, then you are very far away from jhana. If you keep focusing on your breath, on your metta, then you are close to jhana. I feel nimitta is very dangerous because I often nimitta cheated by nimitta. That's right. So disregard them. Don't pay attention to them. Pay attention to your object of meditation, mantra or your breath. Hi you, Ajahn, I worry easily. Apart from chanting a mantra, are there other methods to calm the mind from excessive worrying? Yes, if you can use wisdom, you have to see that everything is impermanent. Sooner or later, you will lose everything. So if you can accept this fact, then your worry will disappear. You have to accept that eventually you're gonna lose everything that you have. When you die or before you die, sometimes you lose things before you die. But when you die, you lose everything. And there's no way you can stop this from happening. So you can accept this truth, then you can stop all the worries in yourself, in your mind. From Michael CHNG, dear Thanajan, while chanting suddenly our mind goes blank and we don't remember anything. What state of mind are we in? Reading from Pinam. You are just in a state of blank. Your memory stops working temporarily. So your mind stops thinking, which you can call it a brief jhana. Sim Chun Leong, dear Thanajan, thanks for your advice. My boss tells me to do billing to customer that I think is unethical, like overcharging, etc. Charging service that never happened. Is this considered breaking second and fourth precept? Yes. I disagree with my boss, but he insists and wants me to follow his order. Am I breaking the precept if I only follow his instruction? Yes, you are breaking the precept. Does this create unwholesome karma? Yes. So you should not follow his instruction. If you have to lose your job, it's better to lose your job than lose your precept. From Kwan Patum Napa, Satu. From Aranut, thank you very much for your teaching. You are welcome. Pauling soon. In progress meditation, once we breathe in, we can feel calm so slowly. Is it right? Yes. Irene Uy, thank you, Ajahn. Today's Dhamma discussion. Satu, Satu. From Willie Shiana, good afternoon, Ajahn. I am Willie from Indonesia, Siddhartha's sister. I would like to ask your advice for my current health condition. I'm having gastric and the doctor advised to take 3 meals a day to recover, at least for 1 month. Currently, I am staying in a monastery, so I just eat whatever is available and saw some dry food. But sometimes the food available might not be suitable for the stomach. I still can get by with the current condition and I still can meditate. Should I consider to go home so that I can get more suitable food? But I am afraid if I go home, I will be carried away by sensual desire and difficult to maintain the practice. Thank you very much for your advice. Well, you just have to decide which one you want. You want to protect your mind or you want to protect your body. If you want to protect your mind, then you have to give up your body. Sooner or later, you're going to have to give up your body anyway. So it's better to protect your mind, free it from dukkha, than give up the mind to dukkha and then protect your body. Because sooner or later, you will have to lose your body anyway. From Pauline Soon, thank you very much, Ajahn. Thank you for teaching. You're welcome. Jinilin Poor, thank you for sharing your Dhamma and advice for today, Mahajan, and all Dhamma brothers and sisters, for the sharing of QA Dhamma for today. Sadhu, sadhu. 5. From Vikyu Campbell Vandami Bante. Phoebe Sang, thank you very much for coming online to teach us again. May Ajahn be happy and well always. You're welcome. Thank you. I will sadhu, excellent sharing, very insightful response to questions. You are welcome. Wei Ching Chua, is good life breaking considered breaking precept? Yes, you still break the precept. For example, someone hurt our body using psychic power, but we can't tell them what actually happened when they saw our injuries, and they simply won't believe it. Just don't say anything if you don't want to lie. If they don't believe it, it's up to them. You don't have to worry about whether they believe you or not. You have to worry about whether you are lying or not. From C. May, thank you, Ajahn. May Ajahn be well, healthy, and happy. Xiao Chan, hi Ajahn. My progress is like stop at no sensation of breath. Cannot go to jhana. May I know if it is still far from reaching jhana? If you keep focusing and don't think, then you're not very far away. You're very close to it. So just keep focusing, even if there's no breath. Just focus on the emptiness and don't think, and then you'll get into jhana very soon. From Wei Ching Chua, what should I do when there is a bee inside my head? My brain will keep contracting and expanding. When I let it out, it will shout and yell like crazy. You should calm your mind by reciting the mantra and ignore what's in your head. Don't just keep reciting the mantra, and when the mind becomes calm, then what's inside your head will disappear. From Chuk Boy Lo, Sadhu Sadhu. From Chiao Chan, I read story in Nepal long time ago. Some bodhisattva killed themselves to feed hungry tiger. Is this considered breaking precept? Yes. You should not kill anybody or even yourself. All right. Thank you very much for your question. We just ran out of time. So I will see you again next week if I have the time, if I'm not occupied by something else. Thank you for joining the discussion. Thank you for your questions. I hope my answer will help you somewhat in your practice, will help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep practicing the Dhamma. Goodbye for now.